Welcome, my friends and enemies. Glad you are here. I am joined with, after a long period of time, we lost him already. After a long period of time, Bloody October Baconator, the great Matt, and Rolo, but he is currently dropping it
Greetings
out.
from my current nursing home habitation, everyone. Working through these healthcare problems and, appreciate some prayers or whatever. That's all.
We definitely appreciate it. I'd introduce Rolo, but Rolo is Roloing his way out of here, so wait for him to
Rolo has activated his stealth jutsu and is currently hiding.
Yeah. He'll be back at some point, I assume. I don't know. He's got something going on with his camera, but he had his camera off and it was still doing this. So we'll figure that out. But
He's probably having Wi-Fi problems.
possibly. I don't know. I'm sure he'll figure it out in some shape or form. Oh, there he comes. Welcome back, good sir. During introductions, I was introducing you.
I could not have been more perfect.
And Rolo, boop, he's gone. I just snapped my fingers and you're out of existence. There we go.
Like cousin associate, Rolo was gone.
I hope your internet's okay.
My internet's fine. It's this cyber stuff. Anyway.
No, you got one of those. Anyway, we are here to talk about Tolkien because what is better to talk about than Tolkien? Preferably good Tolkien, not bad Tolkien, but unfortunately, we're often relegated to bad Tolkien, sadly. But we still have, actually, Rolo, you might enjoy the reactions we do to, what are they called? Help me out, Matt. What do we do with the Tolkien Society? Yeah, that's
stuff. Yeah. Elrond and Heavenrond and
all the memes that can come out of that. Those are good. God. You'll have to watch. You have to watch the ones that we've done already, but there's like another 5 or 6 that we still have to do.
That old lady had that poster of Elrond behind her. We ran with it for months.
Yeah.
But those people are, I don't even know what they.
Special is the word. So
yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's the nice word.
All right, so we'll jump into this, and then we'll have some fun when Matt is probably going to be taken care of. But if he's still here, we'll, talk about it then. But for now, I found an older Telegraph article about Tolkien, so I figured I'd bring it up, and we could take a gander at it. Ironically, it uses the exact same picture as the one 4 years later. So, how the world misunderstood Tolkien, the Ultra Tory.
Oh, God.
Let's see if I can zoom this in. And yes.
Did we misunderstand his actual interviews? We just start by saying
well,
that.
He's right.
You're about to find out.
That opening statement is dead right.
The Lord of the Rings is beloved by liberals the world over, yet is profoundly conservative tome, argues historian Neil Ferguson.
He is 100% right.
He is right.
Yeah,
but is he right for the right reasons? So
well, we won't know. So
leaving aside the great monotheistic scriptures, the Bible and the Quran, the effective religious texts of Mao Zedong, whatever, I don't know. J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings is the most popular book in the history of publishing. The usual estimate is that Tolkien's masterpiece has sold around 150 million copies. The only work of fiction that may have outsold it, according to a careful review of that admittedly patchy data, is Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. But The Hobbit is not far behind, with 100 million. And Peter Jackson's 3-movie adaptation of The Lord of the Rings has made nearly 3 billion. I'm sure it's well past that if you add inflation.
Yeah, it's most certainly way past that.
In short, not to mention all the movie purchases. In short, Tolkien is very... What was that?
I'm sorry, and the re-releases.
Oh yeah. Well, the movies being released. Why don't do that 2-3 times a year? I don't know.
It's stupid.
I want to print money. Well, just show Lord of the Rings extended edition in your theaters. Yeah, there you go.
Everybody would go and see it.
I mean, every single time they show it, it's sold out. It's like, well, we don't want to overdo it. I'm like, you're underdoing everything.
Every time.
I know, right?
I go every time.
It was great. Where I can go though, but the problem is that they're usually in different theaters at different days on different times. They're never at the same place, so I have to figure out work schedules, and half the time I can't go to some of them. So I went to Return of the King with my dad and my wife last time. But In short, Tolkien is very, very popular. Modern writers don't get more popular, not even J.K. Rowling. There is nevertheless a puzzle. Why, if his books are so immensely popular, has Tolkien's deep-rooted conservatism had such a tiny influence? It didn't have a tiny influence. People are just
Because
dumb.
I can answer that right now. Because many people on the left and somewhat in the center disconnect their personal moral structure with anything people write or whatever. Like they can go read a book. Now, I can do that too, right? Like I'm Christian and I can go read a book that's profoundly non-Christian. I'm not saying it's satanic, just with some weird ideas or whatever, and know that morality doesn't work for me. It's just fiction, but I know the difference. Whereas someone on the left or whatever, they go read Lord of the Rings and go, "Oh my God, it's a great fight for the good guys," and that's all they ever see out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
They don't recognize the actual point. Oh, we lost Rolo.
they never understand. Spoilers for Lord of the Rings, guys. Spoilers. Okay,
The good
they
guys
never
win.
understand what happens at Mount Doom with the ring. Frodo failed. Okay, but because he did everything humanly possible, everything, because Sam did everything humanly possible, Ebru interceded and caused the trip, and with a miracle. So people don't understand that how it ended, and because they don't look at it in a moral context, they just think Gollum fell in.
Yeah, it was the Spabimi, actually. Shall be mine instrument. It's a great thing. Rolo has rolled out again. But I'm sure he'll be back. For nearly all Tolkien's millions of readers seem to have overlooked the fact that the great edifice of his fiction stands on a foundation of profoundly Tory philosophy. Now, I'm not very familiar with British politics, so I can't really talk about what Tory really means.
I will answer that question. Okay.
Okay.
Tolkien was profoundly Catholic. Okay.
Yeah.
For reasons that we'll leave aside here, right?
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is built on the ethics of Catholicism at the time, as he understood it, as Catholic ethics at the time he understood it, and as a science of the world was at the time as he understood it. And now he does not use allegory like C.S. Lewis and Aslan and all that. Tolkien takes those values, let's say, of not murdering people or whatever, right, and tells a story where someone doesn't murder someone or someone brings them to justice or whatever you want to call it, right? So he goes back and creates new stories with new characters who are not just fill-in for Jesus or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, and the reason he did that isn't just because he was setting it before Jesus came. He wants the Lord of the Rings to plot-wise to work with world history. It's because
he's making a mythos.
Well, also, he's writing in the style of the ancient Vikings who did not use allegory in their stories.
Welcome back, Rolo.
Thank you. I apologize to the viewers. I don't know what's going on with my stream cards.
Now,
I was going to say, you could use your cell phone internet if your home internet's struggling.
I'm on my computer, too. This is weird. Everything else is working fine.
I haven't had any issues that I know of, but we'll find out, I guess.
Now, as to Tory philosophy, political philosophy changes every 20 years, So maybe at the time...
So it's been 40 plus years, so at least two
and Tolkien being Catholic, I highly doubt at the time he lived in that his personal, political, and spiritual and moral philosophies were very alignment with Protestant Tory philosophy, So.
Wow. Now, I was a Tolkien fan long before anyone thought to categorize me as a conservative historian. As it happens, I am not a member of the Conservative Party, nor am I a registered Republican. But I am certainly well to the right of most academics these days, and I have stopped arguing about the label. Well, we'll see about that. As a boy, I read and reread The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Well, every boy did that had good parents. They have been a core part of the education of my 5 children. At the tender age of 2, my third son, Thomas, responded with complete fascination when I first introduced him to Bilbo Baggins and his adventures. At 6, he immersed himself in the spellbinding audio version recorded in the 1990s by the Australian-born actor Rob Inglis. I have that. We are now watching the films together, though I rather disapprove of them. Well, something in common with Matt. Middle Earth's influence extends far beyond Oxford, where Tolkien spent most of his life. Silicon Valley, the part of California where I now live, is full of Tolkien enthusiasts and commies. The technology investor Peter Thiel named one of his funds after Mithril, Tolkien's fictional metal. A palantir is a kind of crystal ball in Middle Earth. It's also the name of Alex Karp's pioneering big data company, which used to hand out Save the Shire t-shirts to... I want to go there now. Give me a shirt. Yeah, this is a strange kind of influence, for I feel sure that Tolkien himself would have been revolted by Silicon Valley. Well, everyone is. Just as his son and literary heir, Christopher, was appalled by the commercialization of his father's work. Tolkien has become a monster, he told Le Monde in 2012, devoured by his popularity and absorbed by the absurdity of the age. A devout Roman Catholic who preferred the Mass in Latin and looked down on his friend C.S. Lewis's Protestantism, a tweed-clad Oxford don who despised central heating and abhorred the advance of the automobile, a pipe-smoking reactionary who refused to touch French cuisine or visit the United States. I love the French. It's always the French. Taking strays!
So, trivia fact, with the French thing, the only word of French origin in the entirety of the Legendarium is the Sackville Bagginses.
Yeah,
Yes.
checks out. J.R.R. Tolkien was a little Englander to the point of self-parody. In prosperous old age, he had crossed a check to the inland revenue with the words, "Not a penny for Concord." Even the Norman conquest struck him as a contamination of his country's Anglo-Saxon essence. Clearly, as John Garth argues in Tolkien, The Great War, 2003, the harrowing experience of the Somme... Is it Somme or Somme? I don't know.
Sana?
I think it's
Sana.
S-O-M-M-E. I don't know.
Yeah.
Soma?
It's Soma or Soma. I don't remember which.
Was formative. Tolkien served with the 11th Lancashire Fusiliers, I guess, and took part in that terrible battle. He called the experience of the trenches animal horror and lamented the utter stupid waste of war. However, Tolkien's idealization of the bucolic Shire, the home of his very English heroes, and his loathing of the industrial totalitarian Mordor, located in the east of Middle-earth, were based on more than that. Though Tolkien himself dismissed all attempts to find contemporary meaning in The Lord of the Rings, "I dislike allegory wherever I smell it," he once said, his letters to his sons were revealing. Tolkien hit on the title The Lord of the Rings in 1938, about the time the Munich Agreement... Is that you, Matt?
Not me.
Is that you, Rolo? I think Rolo?
I think Rolo's having connection problems again.
I mean, I'm hearing somebody talk, so...
I didn't hear
Somebody talk, so... Or maybe I'm just hearing myself. I don't know. We lost Rolo. We lost him again, boys. Tolkien hit on the title of The Lord of the Rings in 1938 about the time of the Munich Agreement. He was contemptuous of Hitler, referred to variously as that ruddy little ignoramus and a vulgar, ignorant little cad, but much more suspicious of Stalin, which right to be. As war drew near, Tolkien reflected that he had a loathing of being on any side that includes Russia, and believed that the Stalin was probably ultimately far more responsible for the present crisis and choice of moment than Hitler. Tolkien was a Germanophile. What?
Well, we're not going to get into it, but there's a large degree of truth to that statement about Stalin.
Sure. I mean, nobody should like Stalin, so...
About the amount of world trouble we were having.
Oh, yeah. I mean, China was close behind, too. If we had stomped out China and Russia early on, we wouldn't have this problem.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Where was I? Tolkien was a Germanophile for whom Hitler represented a hideous perversion of a Gothic ideal he held dear. People in this land, he wrote to his son Michael in 1941, seems not even yet to realize that in the Germans we have enemies whose virtues, and they are virtues, of obedience and patriotism are greater than ours in the mass, whose industry is about 10 times greater, and who are under the curse of God, now led by a man inspired by a mad whirlwind devil, a typhoon, a passion that makes the poor old Kaiser look like an old woman knitting. Check. Tolkien was first and foremost a linguist and a philologist of exceptional ability, but the spirit that infused his work was so conservative that if he were still alive today, he would be no platformed on every campus in the land. I am not a Democrat, he once wrote, if only because humility and equality are spiritual principles corrupted by the attempt to mechanize and formalize them, with the result that we get not universal smallness and humility, but universal greatness and pride, till some orc gets hold of the ring of power, then we get and are getting slavery. Check again.
That's a certain degree of truth if you think about the modern world.
Yeah. I just don't know if it was true back then, but we'll find out, I guess. Tolkien
Well,
even
if you think of
defended...
modern white liberals as orcs, it all kind of makes sense.
You're not wrong. Welcome back, good sir.
Thank you. I'm trying.
This is Rolo the Return, part 19.
Part 3262.
It's probably gonna happen again. I'm just gonna.
I get it. It's all good. It's all good. Tolkien even defended deference, modeling the character of Sam Gamgee on the Batman he had met during the Great War. Touching your cap to the squire may be damn bad for the squire, he once remarked, but it's damn good for you. The central storyline of both The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings is of a pilgrimage full of trials, tribulations, and temptation, not to mention self-sacrifice. The books are only multiracial in the sense that there are hobbits, elves, and dwarves as well as men. Yes, men. In Middle-earth, almost the only females we encounter are elfin princesses. Not necessarily true, but...
Okay, we need to insert the fact. The word race meant something entirely differently.
Back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're making it a lot worse nowadays, modern.
Yeah, indeed, and put some respect on Rosie Cotton.
Yeah, you respect Rosie Cotton, Sam's coming for you. And
Facts.
Sam's wise.
Put some respect on my girl, dude.
Yeah. Actually, I'm friends on Twitter with Rosie, so it's fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
In July 1944, he looked towards the post-war era with characteristically Tory misgivings, precisely because the victory he foresaw would be a victory shared with our dear old friends, the USSR. This was ironic, and Americo-cosmopolitanism. Holy fajolies. When it is all over, he asked Christopher, will ordinary people have any freedom left or right? Or will they have to fight for it, or will they be too tired to resist? The last rather seems the idea of some of the big folk, who have, for the most part, viewed this war from the vantage point of a large motor cars. Too many are childless. But I suppose the one certain result of it all is a further growth in the great standardized amalgamations with their mass-produced notions and emotions. I love his big words. It's so freaking good. As for the swing music that had done so much to divert the troops on all sides, Tolkien loathed it. Of course he did. Music will give place to jiving, which as far as I can make out means holding a jam session around a piano, an instrument properly intended to produce the sounds devised by, say, Chopin, and hitting it so hard that it breaks. I know some people like that in the Catholic Church. This delicately cultured amusement is said to be a fever in the USA. Oh God, oh Montreal, oh Minnesota, oh Michigan. Why are they all M's? What kind of mass medias the Soviets can produce remains for peace and prosperity and the removal of war hypnotism to show. Not quite so dismal as the Western ones, perhaps, I hope. For Tolkien, the expansion of state power necessitated by the war had created profoundly dangerous tendencies in England, too. You can't fight the enemy with his own ring without turning into an enemy, he told his son, but unfortunately Gandalf's wisdom seems long ago to have passed with him into the true West, the land of the gods in Tolkien's made-up mythology. You take those. You take that back. You take that back right now.
For anyone listening, that is an incorrect description of the true West.
Yeah.
As to prior comments, scroll up a little bit back to what you were saying. So this line here, for Tolkien, the expression of state power necessitated by the war had created profoundly dangerous tendencies in England too. You can fight the enemy with his own ring without turning. You can't fight the enemy with his own ring without turning into an enemy, he told his son. But unfortunately, Gandalf's wisdom seemed long ago to have passed them into the true West. So I think he saw it coming. Do you remember when Sargon said we were wrong to be classical liberals?
Not particularly, but I think that was a recent thing.
About 2 years ago, I think. he did a post where he said, us by being classical liberals, like let it all, being just thinking we could all make a mix of everything. We opened the gateway to ideologies like Islam and far leftism that we were wrong. Like our notion of opening that intellectual gateway, you should look at a quick round comment, I think Tolkien's comment there is like almost like forecasting that. Like we were too lenient with Western civilization with outside influences,
Yeah. We are left with a profound paradox. The most popular author of modern times filled our imaginations with unforgettable characters and landscapes, and yet seems to largely to have failed to instill, that's not how you spell instill, is it? That's missing an L, I think. Instill in us an iota of his ultra-Tory, hold on a second, there we go. Welcome back. Ultra-Tory principles. To adapt a famous phrase from the war during which so much The Lord of the Rings was written, never in the field of English literature was so much misunderstood by so many. I mean, that just sounds like people's ability to comprehend language, period.
Well, I mean, these are the type of people that think that when he says queer, he means gay.
Yeah.
So,
or that he made Sam and Frodo gay, which is ridiculous.
Don't even get me started on that.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry. Now, we have a second article, and honestly, that wasn't that bad for 4 years ago. But
oh, no, that was just the beginning.
Some of it, I think, is a misinterpretation of his principles, because I don't think he was going necessarily hardcore Tory per se.
Well, Niall Ferguson was a decent sort of top writer, so to speak.
Yeah. Sorry, somebody just like mass flagged me with a whole bunch of freaking Discord stuff.
I don't know if he sold out or whatever, but you never know.
Yeah. But now we have another article.
Oh, God.
This is the one I'm here for.
Yep. Student, let's see if you're here for it, though.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to be here for it.
Students shall not pass unless they accept Lord of the Rings as offensive. Well, that's quite the turn, Telegraph. Although Telegraph's technically not the one pushing this. They're just quoting it. University course suggests Tolkien's treatment of evil characters follows a tradition of anti-African antipathy. What?
You said that better than Gary could.
Yeah, well, I haven't watched Gary's rendition of it yet, but sometimes my tongue moves faster than I can like keep up with.
He was like anti-P
P-A Thwai?
Yeah.
You would have to delve.
I'm sorry, I'm not as brain damaged as Gary quite yet. Go ahead, Matt.
You would have to delve deeply, far too deeply, into History of Middle-earth, the 10 volumes, to find any significant reference to the peoples of Africa in the Legendarium.
I agree with you, and I think that I'm just going to preface before we start reading this that the people that are thinking this are the ones who are racist.
Well, obviously.
Like
they project their obvious beliefs they hold.
I just explained the basic premise of this article to my dad, and he was like, I never thought any of that when I saw any of that. It's
because nobody does except people who are trying to be professional victims.
And I was like, see, you understand now? And he was like, no, yeah, I get it.
Well, there's either a
welcome to Middle Earth.
There's either a willful misconception or deliberate ignorance among these people that Tolkien was writing a fictional history of Northwestern Europe.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. This is the article that pisses me off. This is the one.
Well, I don't know if it's the Telegraph. I don't know the Telegraph author, if they're aligned with the thought process, or if they're just quoting the person that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with the Telegraph. It has more to do with what is going on with Tolkien.
Yeah. A university is teaching students that J.R.R. Tolkien demonizes people of color. Why they use? Well, they're British, so they're obviously retarded. In the Lord of the Rings books, a history module called "Decolonizing Tolkien" et al. Taught at the University of Nottingham, of course. It's freaking little Prince John, of course. Uses a text that says orcs and other dark-skinned characters in the trilogy are the victims of ethnic chauvinism. Okay. And this is even better. Dr. Onyeka Nubia.
No, you gotta say it with your chest.
Dr. Anya
Onyeka.
I don't know if I was doing a Scottish accent or not, but whatever.
Bombay.
A historian and writer who leads the module, of course he does, argues that Eastern races in the fictional realm of Middle-earth are depicted as evil, while fairer-skinned peoples of the West are shown as virtuous. Who do you think the freaking Easterlings are? They're not dark-skinned.
Well, they're gonna get to the east.
And we lost Rolo.
They've made no effort to like they read the Lord of the Rings and interpret. Like I said, they don't accept it, the way he wrote it for what it is. They preference their interpretation by their bias.
Yeah. Let's see, where were we? In academia, decolonizing usually means re-examining or moving away from white Western viewpoints. But that would imply that yours are actually better. But that wouldn't follow logically speaking, considering what we know. Welcome back, good sir.
Come on, dude.
You probably should have literally phoned this one in on your phone.
Anyway, they will get to the Easterlings.
Let me guess. They're going to be just like the good guys who just were misunderstood.
Well, the Easterlings in the Legendarium are from the east. You could say that they would either be akin to something like the Mongols or Middle Easterners, maybe.
Well, they think
Well,
they're
at that
Asiatics of some
At
sort.
the time this would have been written, meaning set in, the Easterlings would have been peoples of the steppes leading into Russia and that area.
Yeah.
And
Right.
those would have been Caucasians. Now, if you go south towards where Asia Minor is, okay, you'll start getting into more brown-skinned people. And Tolkien had a name for those people that escaped me at the moment.
Haradrim?
I think the Haradrim would have been.
There's Harad and Far Harad. Far Harad's like Africa.
The Haradrim, like,
Yes.
you know how Mordor has no mountains in back of it? It opened up this vast empty.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got to remember, a lot of this land sunk when the war happened. Okay.
Yep.
So the Haradrim are from that vast empty plain on the other side of Mordor, and they're Caucasians.
There's also the Black Numenorians, but they're not black.
Well, of course they're black. It's in the name.
Tolkien was racist. Oh God.
Like I said, you have to delve deeply into the history of Middle Earth to find the non-white people.
Yes.
Yeah. In the module's core text, Dr. Onyeka writes that malign people, including Easterlings, Southrons, and men from Harad. The trilogy also features the dark-skinned orcs. I mean, that's not really dark-skinned as much as grayed skin, but okay. Evil creatures that do the bidding of Sauron, known as the Dark Lord. Well,
No, the only dark-skinned orcs that we actually see are Uruk-hai.
Yeah, more or less.
When Tolkien writes that orcs are dark-skinned, he's not writing that they look black. He's writing that they look very, very sickly.
Yeah, they're a corruption of healthiness.
Yeah.
Yes.
It adds that Tolkien's treatment of the fictional races shares in a tradition of anti-African antipathy, in which people from Africa are painted as the natural enemy of the white man. Well, no, that's what the racists who think people in Africa are evil in Tolkien's world think about them. The module also examines racial issues in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's going to be great. The Calormen in C.S. Lewis's fantasy novel have long been seen by some as exhibiting Oriental stereotypes. The Calormen aren't in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's Prince Caspian, isn't it?
No, they're
Was
in
it,
there.
was it that? The Calormen. Maybe I don't remember them. But The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, I thought was very limited.
I've read the Chronicles of Narnia last time I read over 20 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. I have it upstairs.
Never read it myself, but I did see a ton of people talking about this, and they all seem to.
I don't remember who the
yeah.
Calormen are, but okay. C.S. Lewis's fantasy novel have long been seen by some as exhibiting Oriental stereotypes. Well, I mean, if you're writing a fantasy thing, you could be writing a stereotype, or you could just be writing, I don't know, fantasy. Call me crazy.
No, this is just bullshit. Like, those are, when you say has long been seen as some. When you don't bring up a person making that claim and the evidence for it, that's just a writer inserting their own opinion.
Probably.
Well, I can tell you, like right now, people are gonna hate what I'm writing in my book then, because like it's all
I'm
based
writing
on
actual
ancient
stereotypes. Is that what you're doing?
Well, no. It's all about ancient civilizations. Like Atlantis is part of it, and like pretty much every other ancient civilization is part of it. So, like,
Aliens.
yeah, it's all there.
They're described as
So, yeah, pretty
cruel.
much. Sorry, certain people are gonna dress.
Well, you dress people what people would understand based off of the culture. They're described as cruel people with long beards and orange-colored turbans. That could literally be anybody. That could be Middle Eastern. That doesn't even have to be. That doesn't have to be African. Are Africans known for long beards?
I don't know.
I don't think Africans are known for long beards, but okay. And we lost Rolo again. This is a fun game of tag with internet. The module also examines. I'm going to get that one. Sorry. Students of the course in Nottingham will also learn to repopulate the canon of British myth and legend.
Oh
What?
God.
What does that
Have you
even
seen-
mean?
Have you seen what Metatron has been going over lately?
I mean, he puts
apparently
like
they're trying to
10
say
million
that-
videos out a day, so you have to nail that down a bit.
he's been going off on all this, trying to recolorize ancient Europeans,
Oh, you're talking about like with the Black Vikings and stuff, or
Black Vikings, and
yeah,
well, they have contradictory. Well, the Anglo-Saxons were white migrants from Scandinavia who took over from native Black people of England.
yeah.
Like,
I know a little bit about that, but I don't know his particular video that he's come out with recently. Welcome
well,
back,
just
good sir.
check out Metatron because he's been debunking them.
No, I follow Metatron. It's just I see videos, but I can't
Yeah.
tell necessarily which videos are which because he just puts out so many of them.
Yeah, he puts out a ton.
I wish I had the time to do so, but I am not a full-time YouTuber, so I don't.
The
have
other
that
thing
luxury.
that I gotta say about this article is that they're throwing the word Oriental around a lot. I thought you couldn't say that these days.
I thought Orientals were just white people with extra steps.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet that the article writer himself is of the Oriental persuasion, so he is never allowed to use it.
Nubia. That sounds like it might be
An African name.
an African
No,
name.
I think
Yeah.
the article is about Dr. Nubia. I don't think Dr. Nubia wrote the article.
Yeah, Dr. Newby did not write the article. It's
Oh,
too
no.
it's too intelligent to be him. Dr. Nubia, an occasional contributor to the BBC, provided articles saying medieval England had diverse populations and Africans lived there, but ethnic chauvinism was evident in literature, including Milton's Paradise Lost, and that the tradition persisted in the works of Tolkien and Lewis. He's got zero evidence for that.
Okay. Can I just say one thing that
Absolutely not.
Was there the occasional dark-skinned human being up there? Yes, that did happen.
Was it a port city?
Well,
Probably.
yeah, it would be somewhere like a port city, or it would be that somebody was traveling with one of their subjects, or
It was the slave trade.
Yeah.
and well, the slave trade wasn't. It didn't really. In medieval times, it wasn't really up there in that way.
The Vikings have been in the slave trade since like 700 AD.
But you didn't really see a black person.
They
specifically.
didn't really
Vikings
like
were
go pull up entire populations from Africa and move them to freaking.
I mean, the Vikings were enslaving their own people too.
Yeah,
So
they
it's
enslaved
like,
everybody.
Yeah, so you weren't really seeing dark-skinned people up there. Would you see the occasional one? Yes. Is there any actual historical evidence of it? No, only word of mouth.
And even if there was, it would be such a small volume that would basically not be worth mentioning. You can't be like, there was two black people. There were two black people in England since the beginning of human living on the island of Britain, right? Like there's been two people. The Africans have been here forever, and it was the white people who came and took over. It's going to be the dumbest concept because it's obviously not how that worked.
Well, the farther north you go, the whiter people get. That's just.
It's almost like we have an entire system of where you are on the planet dictates where you're most comfortable at with the color of your skin.
Yeah, they're not okay with the fact that we're just like, yeah, we all came from Africa. That's fine. No one cares. We're all cool with that.
We came from Mesopotamia, good sir. Get over yourself.
Well, yeah, Mesopotamia, which is outside Africa.
Yeah, that's more Middle Eastern Arabia territory.
Yeah, Red Sea.
Past
Okay.
that. It's way past that. But yeah.
We're going to split the scientific debate on why skin color happened the way it did. A little more complicated than where you were with skin color. But in general speaking, that's true.
I'm just saying, like, it's a general chart that if you look on a map, north to south, and you see like very far south and very far north are typically more white, and the closer you get to the middle, you get a darker tone, because there's obviously some science to it and whatnot, but it's almost like it lines up very accurately across the board.
Yeah.
He claims in the core module text that Shakespeare's work helped to promote a vision of fictional mono-ethnic English past, or it was just English and it was mono-ethnic. His plays are said to be problematic for missing direct references to Africans living in England. Well, you don't have those references. How is he supposed to have them? Creating the illusion of racial homogeneity in England. Well, the person probably thinks Africans founded Japan too, but yeah. In 2021, academics taking part in the anti-racist Shakespeare program at the Globe Theatre in London argued that the bard's work consistently links whiteness to beauty while dark is unattractive. That depends on the people. Attractiveness is not a universal thing. It's a personal thing. Like, well, you're going to find somebody attractive that somebody else might not find attractive.
It is genetic based, but again, we could have a huge scientific discussion on that.
Well, I know, but I'm saying, like, you could say, I like this kind of a nose, and if they have dark skin and they have that kind of nose, you're like, okay, I find that attractive. But if
generally speaking, you and your like most closest living relatives will find the same sort of people attractive, generally speaking.
I mean, that doesn't explain a lot of other issues, but yeah.
People put this up in the article. They don't believe in the science. They only cherry pick the science to favor their crazy left-wing viewpoint.
Well, this person's only recounting an instance that happened, so I don't know if the article person actually believes this or not.
I'm fairly sure they do.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but I'm not gonna lay that on there, because their Dr. Nubia is making claims without evidence, so I'm not going to make a claim without evidence until the article itself says it.
I'm just stating my opinion.
Sure. I'm just saying I'm not going to say it until blatantly says something as the author of the article.
Say it, brother. Speak on it.
Contributor Professor Vanessa Corredera? I don't know. Maybe. Weird names. That's coming from somebody with a Sicilian last name. If you put the play in context with other Shakespearean plays and even the sonnets, this language is all over the place. This language of dark and light. There are these racializing elements, because, morning and night don't exist in the world of Africa, apparently. Good and evil doesn't exist as a concept in Africa, apparently. Like, there's nothing. We can't, and I'm speaking as the professor here and others of their ilk, is Africans don't have good and evil. They only have what Africans do, which the rest of the world may see as evil, but we see it as normal. That's not a good sign. Also, these contexts have been used even in the ancient times, whether it be the Egyptians, the Levant territory, or the Middle East, even some in the European territory and South. This is not a new thing. I don't understand. A number of the sonnets are addressed to the physically contrasted fair youth and the dark lady. Oh my gosh. This is like me. I'm having like flashbacks to when I argued with Wheel of Time alleged fans, like show fans, that dark means black and not just like the dark handsome man trope. Like an Italian man is the dark handsome man kind of a thing. And
dark means dark skin, and dark means other things.
Well, that's the thing, but they say dark lady, and obviously the lady is dark. Well, they're not thinking gothic. They're not thinking emo. They're thinking black. Fair youth Well, that could mean a couple things. Like Snow White is Snow White because her skin is white as snow. Like it's a direct relation, as opposed to just saying my fair lady just means my lady who is fair and of goodness, or whatever the case might be. Welcome back, Rolo.
StreamYard's
You sure the StreamYards, because the two of us are not having that problem.
dude, it's literally just that. Everything else is working fine. I don't understand it.
Allegedly. No, we were talking about the apparently
I am going to hold on.
I didn't know what he said.
I'm very sorry,
But
guys.
it's all good. It's all good. Academics taking part in an anti-racist Shakespearean program. Okay, thanks for sticking around, Matt. Feel better.
Feel better, Matt?
Just you and me now, Rolo.
Well,
hopefully. And soon it'll be just me.
Yeah, it'll be just you.
I'm glad we're not having a gaming session, because that would suck. Oh, my camera just decided to not focus. But yeah, I already read this, but I'll read it since you're here. At the Globe Theatre in London, argued that the Bard's work consistently links whiteness to beauty while dark is unattractive.
Fuck off.
Which is not how attraction works. Now, Matt would argue that there is some genetic straight to it, but like in my opinion, if you have interracial couples, by definition, that breaks that argument. Because
yeah, I mean,
if your parents and your grandparents and your great grandparents going all the way back have a preference of an attractiveness or beauty standard, and then you go complete polar opposite, you can't argue it's genetics at that point. It's just like, I have a very unique set of attraction standards that I find attractive. Like, and you'll see me when we're talking in like anime terms or whatever, like there'll be some girls, everyone's like, oh man, she's so hot. And I'm like, not really, she's not that hot. And they're like, what do you mean? Like, she's got huge honkers and she's, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yes, but her proportions are wrong. Like, I can't stand misproportions. And that's not a family thing. That's literally just to me. Like, my brother doesn't have that effect. My parents don't have that effect. None of my other relatives have that effect. It's literally just me. And
yeah, I can't disagree with that, dude. I'm a face guy.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like face to chest to waist to hips to legs, like it has to be consistent. It can't be like your hips are widened like to the point where you have to have double-sided doors to get through, or while your head's like the size of a little pea or something. Like, you have to have the proportions accurate. They have to make sense. I don't like girls that have ginormous boobs that are bigger than their entire abdomen. Like,
I agree.
Like, that just, it's weird. It freaks me out. And people are like, oh, that's so hot. I'm like, no, you want to wallow in fatness. That's all it is. But
don't get me wrong, I wouldn't have a problem with it, but like,
if the boobs are big and proportional, that's not a problem. But then go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Proportional matters.
Well, not to everybody, but that's the point. But I'm more of a butt guy. Butt and legs are the big part. You're cutting out what?
The dark being unattractive is bullshit. Like,
yeah, well, I pointed out to Matt. I was just like,
if I was vibing with a girl who was like, listen, I'm German and Italian, so like, if
ironically, so am I.
That's the main two. Yeah, I'm 2 out of the 3 Axis powers.
Yeah,
but, like,
I've had that joke too.
Those are my main 2, right? So I'm
mostly Sicilian, but I have a little bit of
my
German.
point being is, if I would get with any, like, I would talk to or be with any girl that I found.
I called it. Oh, well, to reiterate what I was about to tell him, Mr. Rolo, since we lost him, Jimmy, I will explain my point, and then when he gets back, I'll explain it again. But if a person, like if a man or a woman meets a man or a woman, and they're like, I'm attracted to that person, there's going to be specific features and things that would attract them to that person. Namely, nose, eyes, ears, chest size. Welcome back, Rolo. Welcome back. I feel like you should just do this from your phone. Probably will last longer.
God damn it, dude. Anyway, to finish my point, regardless of race or skin color, I don't care as long as
As long as you're attractive to the features that you like.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. When
Matter.
I was explaining to the audience while you were gone, that like there are certain aspects like people are attracted to eyes, nose, ears, chests, legs, butt, hips, waist. Like there's different features that people are into. Like that's why you have boobs guys and butts guys. I'm more of a butts guys.
Same.
I like legs. I don't necessarily care about the bust size per se.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree.
It's kind of like, yeah, they're nice, but I'm more of a legs guy.
Yeah, they're nice if they're not big. That's fine.
Well, it's hard. If you have really nice legs, it's really hard to have not nice anything else. So,
yeah, it's true.
If you have a nice face, you can have a nice or a not nice everything else. It's possible.
Yes.
So it's just like, well,
Natalie Portman's not like built like a brick shit house, but she's got a beautiful face. Same with like what's her name? Fucking Elizabeth Swan.
Elizabeth Swan.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, Keira Knightley. You're thinking.
Keira Knightley, yeah.
Yeah, I used to have a crush on her as a kid, and then I grew up and I realized I had standards.
Her and Natalie Portman are the reason I know that I'm straight.
Yeah, Natalie Portman, Attack of the Clones. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Dude.
Like, no. They're like, oh, what about Revenge of the Sith? Like, no, man. Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones, bro. Bodysuits. Whew. It's getting hot in here.
George Lucas said, fuck it. She's just going to be in a tank top all of a sudden in the next scene.
Yeah, and it was worth it. But no, like, unfortunately.
Arwen and Eowyn, though. We got to talk about Lord of the Rings. Arwen and Eowyn, though.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more of an Arwen guy, but yeah.
Same.
As I have learned to know the actress who played Eowyn, I like Arwen even more.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like I was trying to explain to Matt, like if you go to a place that where like to meet singles or something, and you see this girl and she's dark skinned, right? And I do the Wheel of Time 2-on thing where she might be bald, but she's got the cute little nose and she's got a heart-shaped face, and she like, and you're attracted to that feature even though you're not dark skinned. You're not going to just be like, well, I can't date her because she's a different race. No, you're gonna be like, no, my attraction to her is gonna be biologically in like the sexual department, because that's what attraction is. When you're attracted to someone, you're attracted because of a certain sexual tension or something. Like you're like, well
exactly.
Guys like
I'm
boobs.
talking to a girl right now that I didn't think I'd be attracted to, but I am.
Don't tell her that.
No, I wasn't. Not that way. No, not in that way. More so in the way that it's like, I don't know. Didn't think I would go for that mentality.
Well, and again, your mentality may be based on multiple factors that could have changed, because like for me, I'm 100% logic. I don't run off of emotion. So
Same.
When I was courting my wife, and before, when I was not very successful at courting anybody else, it was one of those things where anything, like if I had whether it be a misgiving or a thought of like, well, I'm not into this, I'm not into X, another logical argument could come over and just override that other one and just be like, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal because of X, Y, and Z. Like to me, as I got more mature, seeing more green flags overwrote everything else. My wife will sit down and watch all 3 Lord of the Rings and all 3 Hobbits extended edition in one sitting with me with pizza and wine. Not many girls will do that. Sadly.
Yeah, no. See, the girl I'm talking to wants to sit down and watch the extended editions of Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, yes.
Is this M?
And she's a Star Wars fan, and she likes Harry Potter and all the nerdy shit.
Well,
So,
because I don't want to dox nobody. Is this M who I met? I'm not gonna say their whole name. Just
probably, yeah.
okay. The one last. Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure. I thought, but I wasn't sure. the Harry
Been
Potterist,
talking to that girl.
and he's gone. He really needs to do it from his phone. But yeah, like your attraction to somebody is going to be based upon your personal preferences of X, Y, or Z. Now, if you're setting that personal preference based upon something akin to you want a guy who is got a lifted truck and has, you know, lots of home security, he owns a home, blah 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 blah. Yeah, you can do that, but just be aware that you're not looking at them from a sexual compatibility aspect. And I'm saying that not in the loose term. Welcome back. I'm not saying that in the loose term. I'm saying that in terms of like, I mean, your attraction level to somebody is by definition sexual. Like it's nothing else. Now, you can have attraction in the intellectual way, like you're talking to a girl as a guy and you're like, "Oh, well, she's really smart. I like that in a girl." But that's not a
Exactly.
sexual trait.
No.
Unless your kink is something on top of that where it's like, "Yes, baby, talk intellectual to me." Like,
Yeah, no. Upon like when you look at a legitimate biological level, it's always sexual. It's always
yeah.
going to be.
Well, yeah, because like guys are inherently attracted to girls' bodies and girls are inherently attracted to guys' bodies on the normal average. There are people who are like, I don't really care enough to participate. We call them asexual because they're not pursuing their sexuality. They're just saying, I'm not really that interested in the sex.
I'm
Plain and
just
simple.
interested in the person more so.
Yeah, and but here's the thing: you can marry a girl with personality, or you can marry a girl who's attractive, or you can marry a girl who's attractive with personality. Like
Exactly.
those are your options. So
That's the goal.
yeah, and the goal is like find somebody that is different enough from you that you're not dating yourself or marrying yourself, but also similar enough to like if you're a gamer, maybe she does some gaming. Or maybe she does a lot of gaming, and then you guys can do that together as a couple activity, which
Exactly.
is something that you can use as a way to avoid fights. You can, although fights can be healthy depending on what they are, but you're also
You fight each other in Halo.
yeah, but you're using it as a means to get closer to each other. When the stress is high, gaming typically blows off some stress, even if it's very stressful doing it. But then the stress that you had prior to that, you might not be thinking about that. You're like, oh man, work was sucky today. You go play a game for a couple hours, and all of a sudden you're like, was I angry about work? I don't even remember. Like you, whatever you're doing, no matter how stressful it is, even if it's like Dark Souls or something, you forget about it. And the purpose is it's something to override the prior stuff. So being able to do something with somebody else that you're attracted to lets you do that. And also, I mean, there's the obvious, like, you know, sex releases sexual built up tension in your body, cause you to relax more, become more happy, biologically speaking, not necessarily intellectually speaking, but biologically speaking. And there's aspects that kind of coincide with like, I mean, married couples having sex is a good thing. Like, duh. But you don't marry somebody you're not either A, attracted to, either their physical body or their intellectual mind. If you're marrying somebody with neither of those things, I don't know what you're doing. But whatever it is, you're doing it wrong because you didn't marry them because of their looks and you didn't marry them because of their personality. I don't know what you marry, but okay.
Exactly.
You're picking one of them. So when they're saying, "Oh, well, you can't like somebody because they're dark, because dark isn't attractive," I'm like, "What are you on about? I've seen girls that are dark skinned that I think are attractive."
Yeah, I can name quite a few of them.
But at the same time, most of them are usually taken because they're attractive.
Exactly.
So it's like, even if I was single and these girls were out there, it doesn't mean that they're available. But using the whole dark is unattractive, I'm like, usually the more attractive the girl is, the more unavailable she is. That's the typical go-to. And if she's not, or if she is available, nowadays that's seen as a red flag. Because if you're available, why are you available? What did you do? And sometimes it's they just don't want a date. It's like, okay. What? What'd you say, Rolo?
I said true.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, if somebody is available, they're either available because they choose to be or because everybody doesn't want anything to do with them. But you can't be both. So I think it's a little silly when they're like, oh, dark is unattractive. And then they're going like, oh, there's these language of dark and light. These are racializing elements. I'm like, wait, morning and nighttime is racial? Evil and good is racial? Oh, there he goes again. We're having a party. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Not very far. Oh, man. But yeah, like, if you find somebody that you're attracted to, it is possible that somebody in this world is not attracted to that person. It just is. It's a natural existence matter. Like, there are people who aren't interested in me because X, Y, and Z. There can be people not interested in you because X, Y, and Z. But then there are people who are interested in me, X, Y, and Z. And there are people who aren't. Or I should say, are interested in you, X, Y, Z. Welcome back. We might be able to make it to the end by the next time, because it's almost done with the article.
Well, I agreed with everything that you said.
Well, I am glad to be right once again.
All I had to say was I
awesome.
agree, because that's literally what I said, and then it just said "fuck you," kicked me out.
Well, I was just pointing out, it was like, morning and night exist. That's dark and light. Good and evil, that's dark and light. And then skin tone, dark and light. Paint colorization, shades, dark and light. Like, there's a whole plethora of things that could potentially equate to this, but they're not. They said that this language of dark and light, but they don't give us context. Because if they gave us context, we'd see that they're full of crap. Then a number of the sonnets are addressed to the physically contrasted fair youth and the dark lady, because, everyone's a moron, apparently. The dark lady is dark lady just like the black Numenorians are black.
God damn it. No. No.
The telegram, and also fair youth. I'm like, fair means many things. Sometimes it's about attractiveness. Well, if that's attractiveness, it's not inherently white. Sometimes it means light-skinned, which in there, it's not talking about attractiveness, it's talking about the skin color shade.
Well, the elves are fair, as in light skin. They're made of
They are both fair in skin and of attractiveness.
Yes, and they're made of starlight.
Stars are very attractive.
And they're also white.
Sometimes. It's more of a distance issue.
Yeah, but like that was what he's getting at.
Yeah. The Telegraph previously revealed that Shakespeare's birthplace, Stratford-upon-Avon, was set to be decolonized following concerns about the playwright being used to promote white supremacy. I'm starting to wonder if Telegraph's mentally retarded. Shakespeare's birthplace. Why did this go from Tolkien to Shakespeare's birth? Like, what the frick? Shakespeare's Birthplace Trust set out plans to create a more inclusive museum experience. That doesn't mean you change the museum. It means that you have a more modern take on things, but they're museums. They're not supposed to be modern.
That's what it means, man. You have to change the museum now.
We need paintings of Shakespeare's black because that's correct.
Because he was now. Because we said so.
I like it. He was now. So he was past tense presently.
Yes, now he was black.
This process included exploring the continued impact of empire on the collection, the impact of colonialism on the world history, and how Shakespeare's work has played a part in this. The Telegraph has approached the University of Nottingham and Dr. Onyeka for comment, and I'm guaranteeing you nobody freaking did that. And nobody responded.
Yeah, nobody responded. No fucking way.
So, from what I understand, and it's not in this article for some reason, but from what I understand, um, people like students were being flunked if they did not admit Tolkien had a racist view on this. I'm going to take this away so my face isn't white out more than it already is.
That is what I. That is what I understand.
I
But I
haven't
don't know
seen
if you.
anything, so I don't know where it came from. But honestly, knowing universities in Britain of all places, I can
Knowing
believe it.
Britain right now in general, I mean, you're getting arrested when you get off of a plane because of jokes you made.
But yeah, obviously, you're obviously the hardest criminal that they've ever seen in Britain because you made a joke. Not those who have graped children and
Not the knife
girls and
crime
women.
either.
Yeah, yeah. And if you live in a gang where you're gang raping people and stealing stuff and not being respectful towards other people's property and lives, no, you're not worth the police's time.
Well,
Brittany,
it's
man.
your fault for being there.
I know, right? And you had to wear that really long denim dress that you wear in homeschool groups. It's your fault for barely showing your toes underneath it. Oh no, I saw the soles of her feet. Oh, there he goes. We were almost done. Dadgummit. Sorry. I grew up homeschooled, and I'm obviously well off for it. Oh goodness. But yeah, like Britain's a messed up place, and if they don't get their crap together, they're gonna have some problems, major problems. But I don't know if it's actually true whether or not they make them or not make them like admit that he's a racist and blah 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 blah, or you're gonna get flunked. I honestly don't know. Um, it makes sense. It follows. I mean, if you're going on about decolonization and somebody drops a paper in which they're praising Tolkien's you know ability and everything, then I mean they're probably not going to let him pass. And Rolo is having camera mic issues. Looks like. Yay! And he's gone, and he'll come back hopefully. This is great. But yeah, I would imagine that um, if somebody was to write something positive about Tolkien, that it probably would not get them a passing grade. That's just my humble opinion. I don't think that those kind of schools would be pro critical thinking and pro self thought. They want the group think mentality, and we all know how they really feel about that kind of stuff. But be as it may, hopefully Rolos comes back. Man, I'd be upset if this happened to me over and over again. Who's blowing up my Discord? Goodness gracious. You're fine, Rolo. You're fine. All right. Well, I don't know if Rolo's going to come back. Unfortunately, I don't know his channel stuff quite yet. I'll have to add it to the list. I believe it's called RoloCast. So you can find him there, probably. I'd imagine. But thanks to Matt for sticking around as long as he could. He's got to get some health care stuff taken care of. So prayers for him if you don't mind. He's going through a bit of a rough patch with his health, and we'd love to see him healthy and kicking and screaming as usual. He's a good dude. But yeah. You can check him out in his Unbearable 73 channel. And also, he's down in the description below. Rolo, check out RoloCast, all that fun stuff. Check out the other content creators depending upon what you're interested in. Support them even if you're not necessarily interested in them because they're all pretty cool people. So definitely recommend them. What else? Yeah, companies. Down in the description below the content creators is companies that support our corner of the universe in the internet, that are not pro censorship. They're anti censorship, and they're in favor of us being able to choose what we want to do. So check them out as well if you want to support them. And he just sent me something else, didn't he? And he says to say, I'm sorry, my computer just took a dump. So he's probably not coming back. So we'll go ahead and end it there. Once again, I don't think this is going to have a good impact on anything in terms of the more you talk crap about Tolkien, the more people are going to not think highly of you. But regardless of that, thanks everybody for sticking around. Thanks to the guest that keeps disconnecting. It's great. But thanks to everybody who stuck around, and we'll see you guys hopefully in the next one. And remember, my friends, walk in the light.